Literally, you're gonna die if you make these mistakes. I'm going to share with you guys 7 huge dropshipping mistakes that will cripple your business if you make them. These are all mistakes that I've pretty much made. They're not fun at all. First, when starting out with dropshipping, many make the mistake of having the wrong expectation. If this was extremely easy, everyone would do it and we all would be driving Bugattis and living in mansions, but it's not the case at all. I did this in the beginning, having unrealistic goals because I saw people showing off their Lambos, but I realized that these people that are saying this and that are showing off all the stuff, they had been in the trenches for either months or some even years before they even saw success with dropshipping. Now, dropshipping is, however, pretty simple. It should be treated just like learning a new language. If you practice Mandarin and let's say you give it a shot for a week, sure, you may understand basic words and know little things, but there's no shot you're going to be fluent in just 1 week of trying to study this new language. But thinking that your very first product that you test or your very first website is going to be the one that crushes it, it's not realistic. It personally took me 25 products to test with TikTok ads before I found one winner. So just keep that in mind if you test one product and it doesn't work out, or you test 3 or 5, even honestly 10. So just keep that in mind and have realistic expectations in your head and you will be better off. The second mistake that I made was huge and you guys need to avoid it because this one really stung. So I started a dropshipping store years ago and it crushed it with sales, which was awesome because at the time I was pretty much broke. However, that left me with another huge problem: slow shipping times. At the time, I was a beginner, so I just went onto AliExpress and fulfilled all these orders with them with the cheapest shipping method, which I thought was all right, and it turned out to not be good by any means. The processing times were extremely slow, and on average, orders took over a month to get to the customers. It overall ruined the store because then we got customers to complain pretty much every single day, and we got a lot of chargebacks. So overall, it was just an absolute nightmare. The way I fixed this on a newer store, I just contacted the supplier from AliExpress before fulfilling orders and asked them what their current processing times are, which essentially means from the time I send in my info, how long is it going to take for the order to get packaged up and sent out? And then after that, just ask them what their average shipping times were in the last 30 days to the USA. This simple little thing solved the issue, and it was honestly pretty easy to do. Yet I failed to do this originally, and it hurt me a lot. This leads me to the next point: bad suppliers. When I started dropshipping, I only knew AliExpress. I didn't know that there were other suppliers that were way better than AliExpress, and so I used AliExpress to fulfill all of my orders on there because I thought that was the only way you could do it. Well, it backfired. I had a store and I got it up to $1,000 per day a few years ago and used an AliExpress supplier who ended up just never shipping the orders out. On AliExpress, there's something that is called buyer protection, which sounds awesome, right? Like it sounds super safe, and if you place an order, you're good. And it is. However, there's a huge flaw with this whole buyer protection stuff. The supplier is not actually obligated to send the product out to your customers. If nothing gets sent out, they'll just refund you the money, which sounds awesome, but it took me over 2 months to get my money back from these orders that I had paid for. So yes, it is good technically, but it also can backfire if you have a shady supplier. They can just take your money, never fulfill orders, and you have to wait over 2 months to get your funds back. So not too fun. The best way to fix this is to just pick companies and dropshipping agents that help to mitigate your stress and issues that normally come with using platforms like AliExpress to dropship. CJ Dropshipping and Zendrop are both amazing suppliers that I personally use. We've fulfilled thousands of orders with them and they all do extremely well. I'm not going to have any affiliate links for these platforms. I just am telling you guys as an honest person who's done dropshipping for a few years now, do not use AliExpress. If you guys get orders, go to Zendrop, go to CJ Dropshipping, try to use them because you'll probably have a way better experience and your customers won't absolutely hate you. All right, switching gears, the next thing you guys need to avoid is coming into dropshipping thinking you do not need money. Now, yes, there are ways to do it. I've probably made videos on the past talking about dropshipping with $0, and I'll probably do $0 challenges in the future. However, it is extremely difficult and unlikely to start this business with close to no money. That is unless you're extremely good at going viral and making content that pops organically. I personally started dropshipping with just $42 and somehow made it work, but that was years ago. Like I started in 2017 and that was with Instagram influencers. A lot has changed since then. Dropshipping was in itself way less talked about, so it's very hard to start with close to no money like I did in the past. Despite having the small budget, I did make it work. However, my customers had to wait an extra few days because I had to wait for the money to come into my account from these orders so that I can then go ahead and pay for the product cost costs, so it's just not overall something I would recommend you guys do. Present times, I always recommend a sufficient budget so that way you can test the right amount of products and have a long enough runway so that way you can get through the bad tests and eventually find that product that goes on to make you tons of money. So exactly how much money do you need? Well, I personally spend $100 to $200 every single product I test, meaning if I test 10 products, which is usually around the amount that it takes to find a winner, I spend $1,000 to $2,000 to test those products out. Now keep in mind, I've been doing this since 2017 and I've developed an eye for winning products. So let's double it and say you need to test at least 20 products to find a winner. That would mean 20 products at $100 per product. That's $2,000, and I recommend that at minimum, but the more the better. When you get there, having a product that's profitable, making you money, that is the time to double down, scale up your ad spend, which means if you're spending $100 on ads per day, up it to $200, $500, even $1,000 per day and scale. You'll also need better content, and just overall, you need money to keep growing the business. So if you find a winner but you have no more money, you won't have any funds to scale up your ad spend, grow the business, and fulfill orders on time. Staying on the topic of winning products, stop selling that nobody wants to buy. People only buy products for a specific reason that I'm going to mention in a second, and if your product doesn't have any of these, you will likely struggle with profitability. I've tested hundreds of products, and so that's why I'm saying this so confidently. Problem-solving products, status symbols, emotional connections, and gimmicky, cheap products, these all sell extremely well and will make you money if your offer is right. I'm not going to lie, we do sell gimmicky products like this swinging duck right here, and they work. They make us tons of money. However, on average, our best sellers are products that either help solve huge problems in the world, or they help with insecurities or something like that for our customers. There's sleep, physical pain, being ugly. These are all problems and niches that create multi-million and even billion-dollar opportunities. Just look at the makeup industry. It's a perfect example. If your product solves a big enough problem, it can print money for you simply because people will be able to justify spending X amount of dollars on your product and exchanging it for the product because it'll help them improve something in their life or make their life more efficient in some way, shape, or form. So just keep this in mind as you're doing your product research. It'll help you find a better product more efficiently and in turn get you to that pot of gold quicker. All right, this next thing you guys need to quit when you're dropshipping is something that's personally lost myself probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. It is the way you price your product and position your offer. When I started dropshipping, I always used to think that having the absolute lowest price was the best because it was just like a fight to the bottom. But after getting into it, I realized that was the furthest thing from the truth. Here's a good example. We were selling this summer dress earlier this year for around $39. I'm not gonna show it, but we were selling a summer dress, 39 bucks with TikTok ads. It was crushing it. It was this cool one. It kind of went viral and we had a 10% conversion rate. Customers were loving us. It was awesome. That was until we saw competition selling the product for more than we were selling and less. Therefore, we were not the highest priced product and we were not the lowest priced seller. We were just somewhere in the middle and we didn't really know where we fit. Yes, it did work, but our margins were slim, so we decided to duplicate the product, test it with a few different price points, one being even lower and then one being really high. And shocker, the product ended up performing the most optimally at a $79 price tag. Now with this increased price, we look like the premium version of this product, supplying top quality goods to our customers. We're no longer the cheap H&M style website that just sells cheap clothing. This works so well because you have to understand, with certain products, people are happy to spend more money to get the premium version, and with others, they just want to spend as little as possible. Now, if your winning product or the product you're wanting to sell is a cheap gimmicky product, then yes, being the cheapest in the market helps sell the product so much more. This just comes down to the offer and the way you actually price the product. When people think that your product is more valuable than the cash in their bank account, you will be raking in dough. Most of you watching this video will struggle because your product price is way too high, way too low, or you just don't have a good enough offer. The goal here is for your customers to truly believe that they are ripping you off by buying the product because it's such a good offer. So all of the points I just mentioned are extremely important, and if you combine them with this last point I'm about to make, you'll be in a great position to take action with dropshipping and actually have a chance at this business model, because there are a lot of people that try it, but most people don't have the information I just shared with you guys. So listen up to this last one. This one is kind of a general idea to quit. It is called overthinking, and no, it isn't what you think by any means. I say overthinking as in stop overthinking the product you test, stop overthinking the website you're making, stop overthinking everything, and just start. Now, I know it's a bit counterintuitive to what I said in this video, but your first product you test is not likely to be amazing. Your first website is not going to be amazing. You're not going to know how to run ads when you start. So yes, I mentioned all these things and how you should pick good products, have good ads, have good pricing, but this all comes with experience. So just don't overthink it and think that you need to be some professional. You will learn as you go. It's just important to start testing stuff out. Overthinking holds so many people back. Take my word for it. I get hundreds of DMs all the time, and everyone's thinking they need to know like every little bit of dropshipping. You don't. You just need to start, and you'll learn stuff as you go. So after you smash the like button and subscribe, you should definitely check out the link below. I have a completely free dropshipping course that has everything you guys need to build your Shopify store, find products, run ads with TikTok, and do everything in between. It's free, and it will definitely push you to start now. It's extremely important to just take action. When I started out with this business, I literally heard the words dropshipping, Facebook ads, Shopify, Oberlo, and AliExpress. Like, just the words. I'm not saying I learned the business and how to do that. I just learned those words and then looked up Shopify, looked up AliExpress, started to gradually learn Facebook ads, and eventually somehow I made it here to where I am now. But like, I didn't know everything. So just know, even myself, I didn't know literally anything, like close to nothing when I started, and that's okay. Oh, also, you should probably watch this video if you want a good idea at what products actually sell. The best way to learn is just see what products I've sold in the past. So check the video out there, but other than that, see ya.